best advice that I got was communication is key, right? But two was keep people out of your business.
Hold on now, Tyrese got a point on this one.
The truth about the matter is that if I had different people in my ear at that time, I would not have made that decision.
Look, man, I was not going to respond to this video of my ex that's now gone viral. She is loving it. Congratulations, you went viral again over something else that you said because you're trying to build up your YouTube page and get your followers up. Listen, man, listen. If you had people in your ear that influenced you into leaving your husband and your one-year-old child, your innocent one-year-old child, we both were divorcee kids, grew up in toxic environments, torn in between our old family, new family, stepfather, stepmother. That's a life that we both lived. And you packed up a one-year-old, put a COVID mask on top of the Ring cameras, and I was literally in an airplane on my way home to fight for my marriage and my family. You're heartless. None of your friends recognize you. This is all about money. If you had friends in your ear, you're lying, you're gaslighting, you're playing. The only person that was in your ear was your mama. Her name is Patricia Randolph. You didn't have people in your ear. The amount of people that was supposedly in your ear, you also had a whole lot of people like Aventer Gray, Taffy Dollar, Creflo Dollar's wife, who married us. You had a whole lot of people in your ear telling you that you're about to do something stupid, impulsive, and y'all are actually not going through anything that would make you want to leave your husband. Let's go even further. When Aventer Gray and Pastor John Gray were having their own marital issues at the time, you arranged a therapy session with Aventer Gray at our house. And when she walked out of her therapy session, she walked into the foyer where the Bumblebee is, and there was 50 boxes with like 7 or 8 people there packing up all the shit to leave the house. And I was in an airplane on my way home to try and fight and save our marriage. So if you had people in your ear at the time, they must be still in your ear, because you're still trying to get $20,000 a month for a 5-year-old. You make $160,000 a year on your own. This is all a game. You're clout chasing. You're something that I don't even know. A simple woman, not into materialistic things, don't care about fame and mansions and popularity. You're everything that you told me and all of your friends and loved ones that you wasn't. If you wanted to be famous, boo-boo, that's all you had to say. You didn't have to play this game that you wasn't. Now you out here playing on single mothers and their emotions, playing on women that are actually in abusive relationships and fucked up marriages that are toxic and dark and dysfunctional. That's not what that was. You think I would have a song entitled "I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me" if I didn't really feel that way? You think I would have a song out called "Love Transaction" if I didn't realize that it was never love, it was just a transaction? This shit is about money. You've hired 3 law firms trying to fucking suck me dry. I'm approaching $1 million in legal fees, and we had a prenup. You already tried to ask me to come back. You already tried to reconcile. I told you I was in a relationship with Zelly, and I was not willing to go and break this off or cut this woman off because you decided to wake up on a Wednesday and come back and play in the sandbox. Everything about the way you left me was heartless. It was evil. You never considered me, your marriage, and let alone your innocent 1-year-old child. She had to celebrate her 2nd birthday apart. And if you really are really suddenly caring about the effects that you've had on me and your family, why don't you sit these fucking lawyers off of me? Call your lawyers right now and tell them that everything that you're still trying to get right now, you don't want it no more. $20,000 a month for a child? Our prenup says no alimony. Our prenup said everything that the prenup said. You're trying to crack the prenup. And it's been 3 years of it. I should have never hired a fucking attorney. I had a prenup. Everything that I was supposed to give you in the prenup, I gave it to you. You want more. And it's been 3 years. I've moved on. I'm with Zelly. You moved on. I don't even want to tell niggas the first nigga you started dating when we broke up. Because you're going to go viral from that. If I were to tell niggas who you started dating as soon as we broke up, you would go viral from that. All you want is attention. You want Facebook followers. You want Instagram followers. You're trying to be a life coach and you trying to get niggas to drink the Kool-Aid. You fucking with a real one right here.
What's going on, y'all? Nick here, coming to you with another video. So, I'm sure you saw that. And, this is what's so crazy about it all. It's because, you see, when we come out here and we constantly talk about the relationship scene as it stands today, right? I mean, who would want to get married? Who would want to get married according to this modern society today? I want you to actually hear me out, because women, they lead the charge when it comes to divorce. I believe it's about 80%. That means when you think about it, if you think about it, men actually do not want to get divorced, guys. Men actually would fight tooth and nail to save a marriage. Why? Because they understand fundamentally that they invested a lot of time, a lot of money into that relationship. The only thing I could think of that might be comparable is probably a business. A lot of men, 9 times out of 10, they do not want to actually, forego a business. But why am I saying this? Because it is extremely difficult, guys. In this current, if you want to use that word, dating market, it is extremely difficult to actually have a long-lasting relationship. I would hear you wise men before me, they used to talk about, the stuff that people went through back in the days. I mean, we talking about stuff that people would have a legitimate reason to divorce, and they still stood by each other. Was it tough? Absolutely. Nothing worth any value is going to come easy. Again, going back to the job analogy. If anybody wants to actually have a thriving business, everybody would know that I believe it takes about 3 to 5 years before you find any type of legitimate profit. So think about all the dips, right? All the people saying, man, you should just give up. Oh, why are you trying to do this business venture? Oh, you get what I'm saying? All the negative comments that would have you to give up. You have to push and persevere past it all. Why? Because you have foresight. You can see afar off and you can see that, although it's tough now, if I just push through, it will be worth it. How come people can't see that with marriage? So here you have Tyrese. You get what I'm saying? He was trying to fight for his marriage. And I would never forget all the people that criticized him because he was crying. And, people called him the B word. People thought he was soft. Why? I mean, of course a man would actually cry for something he cares about. I mean, you heard what he said. I mean, this is his wife that just up and left. And he had a 1-year-old child at that. You see, some of you guys, y'all, because y'all look chasing clout, y'all would put down anybody, and this is how we know we living in the end times, right? Because the love of many shall wax cold. We can't even feel the pain of others anymore. Why? Because we only think about ourselves. I mean, this is a man that was grieving. I'm not saying that he should have put it on the internet. I'm not saying that. And if he did that, then expect whatever comes out of it. But this is just showing you that, again, this man was literally grieving, and rightfully so. Why? Because think about what he just said. He was with this woman. She left him, right? He has a 1-year-old child that now has to grow up in a single-parent home. He said both of them, meaning Tyrese and the woman, grew up in a single-parent home. So I'm sure his mindset was just like, I'm trying to break the curse. But now, look at that. The generational curses keep going on, right? Because of this woman, not because of him, because of the woman. And now she's extorting him, and I use that word very precisely. She's extorting Tyrese for $20,000 a month for a child. Do you guys understand how insane that is? So you telling me that this person, this child, is entitled to $140,000 a year? $140,000 a year to raise a child? But, you see, but this is what it is. You see, these men, they try so hard to actually build their name up, right? He worked hard. He grinded for years to become an actor, right? And it's a singer, right? And all of that hard work amounts to paying $20,000 a month. Not a year, guys, a month in child support. If you guys are listening to me, I was a child once, I'm sure, obviously, right? I'm sure many of you were children at one point in time. What a child's going to do with $20,000? No, let's keep it a buck. That woman most likely is going to spend a lot of that money. And you see, here's the thing. All the media is going to do is just say Tyrese is soft. Tyrese is this. He's acting like a, right? Nobody's actually trying to empathize with the guy and actually understand that, nah, man, that hurts. That's extremely painful. That's extremely painful to say, if only I was listening to other people, if I had other people in my ear. You see, fellas, check this out, and women, you too as well, right? Stop bringing people in your business. Listen to what I'm telling you. I remember before I got married, one of the best advice that I got was communication is key, right? But 2 was keep people out of your business. One of the main reasons why relationships fail is because you have some bogus friend who probably isn't even married, but all of a sudden they think there's some relationship guru. And this is what I'm saying. You really must be very smart that you who are in a relationship, you're gonna take advice from someone who's not in a relationship. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? But you fall for it. You just fall for it. But tell me how you are going to listen to all these people. They always think they know what's best for you, and they have no tooth in the game. They have no skin in the game. And then here's what's going to happen. When you are left alone, all of a sudden you're going to hear, the violin playing, right? You're going to hear the violins playing, right? And they're going to come up to you like, oh, man, I told you he was no good, right? And you fall for it. If he was no good, then why was she trying to get back with him? You see, but hindsight is 20/20. Yeah, of course she realized he was a good dude after the fact. This is a damn shame. It really is a damn shame. I just don't understand why people continually get bit by the serpent. AKA, they just get bit by a bunch of lies. And nobody wants to actually use common sense. But common sense is not too common anymore anyway. I mean, you guys, if you gotta understand, right? I'm gonna land the plane by saying this, right? Because you know me, this channel is called The Message Sent, The Message, aka the Gospel. Let me drop something for you guys here. The number one, the first, excuse me, I won't say number one. The first commandment was be fruitful and multiply. Now, if that was the first commandment given by the Most High Himself, don't you think marriage is important? Think about what I'm saying. Don't you think the union between man and woman is extremely important? So who would be trying to tear it down? What do you think? What is operating in society today that's trying to tear it down? You have all this red pill and feminist movement. They come in their eyes, right? Men and women can't work together anymore. What is operating behind the scenes to try to tear women and men apart, aka divorce? Think about that. Would it not be Satan? Wouldn't it not be Satan? But you see, this is what I'm saying. This society is clearly given over to him, Satan, and people just keep falling for it. And nobody ever just thinks, just look at the media, look at what's going on. Clearly, we need to come back to the Most High. You see, this is sad, and just like Tyrese said, this woman is extremely heartless and selfish, because you see, when you get married, and especially if you have children, the children come first. But to hell with the children. To hell with the children. Why would that matter? Why would the child matter at this point? Because after all, you were just chasing clout. You just care about the securing the bag. You see, women have reduced men to money, monetization. They don't actually look at men anymore as some type of spiritual guide or as some type of companion or friend. No. All the they have stripped all that emotion out of it completely. All the spirituality out of a marriage completely. They don't care about none of that. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about all women, right? There are many women who actually still value men, right? And it's unfortunate because such women, they don't have the clout. They don't have the dominant voice in society. All you hear is always the ratchet women. All you hear about consistently is all the women that want to tear men and women apart even the more. So those are the women that get all the notoriety, all the fame, all the stardom. It's a really sad situation, guys. But I'm gonna tell you this. You know, again, for those of you who actually can hear the message, you know, we need to come back to the Most High. We need to come back to the Creator and His ways and His order. And if you are married, hear me out. Despite the things that you think is going wrong, communicate. First and foremost with your partner. Not with me, not with mom and dad, not with some relationship guru. Communicate with your partner. Leave people out of your business. Because a lot of times, a lot of issues is a lack of communication. That's all it is. And no, I'm not a relationship guru. You get what I'm saying? But this is a relationship with, it could be man and man, woman and woman, and I'm not talking about in a sexual type of way. I'm talking about just relationships as a whole. A lot of issues come about because of a lack of communication. People misunderstanding one another. That's where majority of these issues come about. Just speak to one another. You don't need to make this thing some grandiose thing, because nothing is new under the sun. Here you are, you're about to blow up your marriage for something very petty. Anyway, with that being said, Nick over and out. The message sent. Jesus is King, y'all.